Hi, Deb here, day 38, season 1. And it's funny how, you know, like I've said in my previous videos, all these words of the day that I wrote down, I just randomly wrote down a list of, well, I think I got to 50 words anyway, so I'll worry about the rest later. And the last 3 in a row just really seemed to go together. I did my intention video on day 36, which brought out a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we all got that stuff. And then you put out your intention to the universe, and then you're supposed to allow. That was yesterday's video. And during yesterday's video, I brought up prayer, which is today's word. Today's word is prayer. And it's kind of a, what's the difference between a prayer and an affirmation? Is there a difference, except that one is in the present tense and one is in the, I don't know, it depends on how you say your prayers. I don't think most people pray and say, God, I am healthy. It's more like, God, make me healthy. So there may be a little difference there. Here's the issues. Okay, I'm going to ramble in and off. I think you've all already noted that my thought patterns kind of wander off. But somewhere in the world, in my understanding of life, in my readings, in my studies, I remember reading or having someone say, pray once and allow God to do his thing. One of the phrases is let go and let God, or the universe, whichever way you choose to look at it. And so I could swear that there's a Bible verse that says pray unceasingly. So if you're praying unceasingly, are you praying about a different thing every day, or are you praying about the same thing and being a nag? So here's the question. If a prayer is like an affirmation, which I kind of think it is, but it's a never-ending do it every day, are you asking the universe with the affirmation, or are you convincing yourself it's already happened? Huh. Okay, anyway, so back to all of that. I'm going to actually, yes, put on my reading glasses. I'm going to actually, you'll hear more about that in season 2, read you my vision statement that I've had since October or November of last year. Now, I don't read it every night, although on most times I do, and then I get out of habit, but I think about it all the time, because I know I've pretty much got it memorized, but I'm going to read it anyways. I live in a charming older home on a large lot with beautiful gardens. The house maintains its original magnificent built-ins, but has a beautifully updated kitchen and a large spa-like bathroom. Its bones are solid. I drive a Lexus that has an upgraded stereo system with cassette, CD, and iPod docking station. I use a hands-free phone with the latest technology. My clothing is fashionable and made of natural, durable fabrics. I have matching shoes and accessories for every outfit and current makeup. I get up each morning between 6:30 and 7:30 feeling well rested. I enjoy doing some reference reading while I drink a splendid cup of coffee. After a light breakfast, I head to the spa to do a walkthrough and make any necessary notes to the staff. Depending on the day, I put into action the necessary systems to ensure the smooth running of operations so that clients get consistent and exceptional service. Through the rest of the day, I tend to my book projects, information projects, speaking engagements, and one-on-one consultations. In the evening, I spend a brief period at the gym before heading off to dinner with friends, family, or the quiet of my lovely home. At night, I plan out the next day, week, or month, and retire to a restful night's sleep. I enjoy a minimum of 4 vacations yearly, being sure to spend time at the top trade shows in New York, Las Vegas, Miami, Long Beach, Orlando, or Chicago. Once a year, I travel to a show outside the U.S. to be up to date on all trends. I've studied dermatology, herbology, aromatherapy, and massage to the extent that I am considered an expert in these areas. I continue to study alternative healing and self-mind control in both the clinical and spiritual aspects. I'm an active volunteer in my community and known nationally in my field. Although my assets are valued at over $50 million, I maintain my lifestyle on a gross income of $3 million per year, leaving plenty to contribute to worthy causes and benefits for the next generation. I spend quality time with my children, grandchildren, mother, father, and siblings. We enjoy harmonious and lively relationships with each other. Okay, so that's the basic affirmative statement that I make in the present tense about my life. Now, the funny thing about that is I have already experienced the majority of this in my lifetime. I can honestly say the only thing I haven't experienced is the gross income of $3 million a year, but we know that all of this is possible because I've already experienced half of it. The interesting thing I came across when thinking about all this prayer and affirmations and putting it out there and allowing and intentions was at every point in my life I've had part of this, I've never put it all together. And you know, if you broke this down into little bits and pieces, I have lived in a charming older home. I garden all the time, so my gardens are beautiful. Granted, the charming older home I'm in is not as old as I want it to be, but I used to have a house up in Placerville, California that was 100 years old, and it had beautiful gardens too, because that's just me. And I've lived in a 100-year-old house in Alabama, and I've lived in, anyways, I've covered that one, and that's just what I want to go back to. As far as driving the Lexus, here's the problem, I really don't care if it's a Lexus or not, but I had in there before a reliable, unpretentious car because I've read The Millionaire Next Door, and if I'm going to try, excuse me, I stuck that in there. If I'm going to, no, if it's even a bad word, since I'm a millionaire, I was fashioning myself after The Millionaire Next Door, which if you've read that book, it says they drive just normal everyday cars. But what the heck, I thought I would put something better in there because I already have a normal everyday car. So I put a Lexus in there. I don't even own an iPod. I don't know why that's in there, but it sounded cool, like I should have one. You know, how much is this should? Should. Yeah, since I'm a millionaire, I should have an iPod. My clothing is no longer fashionable. I would like to work on that. But at one point in time, I was an image consultant when I lived in South Carolina. So I know how to be fashionable. It's just I choose not to be at this time of my life. But I might like to go back to that. I'm rambling, I know. I hate getting up early in the morning, but I know you get more accomplished, and more millionaires get up early in the morning than those sleeping until 9 o'clock. So I thought, okay, that ought to be in there because it's something I should work on. 7:45. I just love missing that 7:30 deadline. I don't ever eat breakfast, although I did have a yogurt this morning, because every morning I do think about this, and I think, okay, so many of these things I can do, I'm choosing not to. Why am I choosing not to? Why am I being stubborn? Why am I being procrastinator? I don't know. But I do always have a splendid cup of coffee. I don't do reference eating anymore. I watch YouTube. Okay. I don't have my spa. When I wrote this, I owned a spa. I no longer own the spa. However, I would like to own a spa again. And I was working on the Micro Gerber thing of putting in systems so that you don't have to be there all the time. And then I lost one of the CDs and kind of fell off the wagon. And then the whole thing fell apart and yada, yada, yada. Water under the bridge. So someday I probably will have a spa. Excuse me. Someday I will have a spa again. Now, I have written most of the book, and I have actually written a children's book. I've just never had it published. So I can tend to book projects because that's there. Information projects, got some fabulous ideas on how to help other people have successful spas. And I know it sounds kind of funny because I didn't technically have a successful spa, but I didn't close because we ran out of money. I closed for many, many different reasons. So technically I was successful for 3 years. And so I do know how to run a spa. And I got these information things. Speaking engagements, I feel it's very important to be a speaker once you've become successful so that you can share that with other people. And I hate going to the gym, but there it is in my thing that I go to the gym every evening. Well, I'm not going to go to the gym in the evening. I don't know why that's there. Because, oh, I do too. Because all the things I've read about being a millionaire say that you should exercise, it's good for you, it helps the brain function better.